Hello, welcome to Level Up Your Talents Abroad. I'm Guslandy here. In today's video, we're going to meet with Laure. And through her story, we are going to learn how she truly leveraged the cultural diversity of her journey abroad. And also, she will share her key to better manage cultural differences. Before we dive in, don't forget to register for our online live Q&A with all the participants. Also, follow us on our LinkedIn page. And if you would like to participate to this series and come for an interview, just send us an email and we'll be really happy to have you here. So all the links are in the description below. So now let's dive in. Today we welcome Laure. Hi, Laure.
Hi, Anne.
So to give you some context, Laure decided to move to Spain in 1999, not speaking Spanish, to join her boyfriend who became her husband. A few months later, as she was fluent in German and English, she started to work for Bosch. Then she also became a mother of two during these 7 years in Spain. Then you tell me, Laure, if I'm saying something wrong.
No, it's all perfect. No worries.
Okay. So as a family of four, in 2006, you decided to move to Switzerland. A couple of months later, you found a job. You stayed there 14 years. And then back in 2020, you became head digital business at Raiffeisen Bank Switzerland. What a journey. So today, because that's what we see on LinkedIn, but
yeah, exactly.
But what we would like today is to explore with you the behind the scene, because yes, we often see the end result, but we also miss a lot on the process and what does it really take to develop and level up your talents abroad. So my first question to you, because I remember when I landed in Shanghai, not speaking a word of Chinese, that really resonated with your story when you decided to move to Spain, not speaking a word of Spanish. And so how did that go? How did you overcome this challenge? Because I guess that also probably something that you wonder how to move to a country when you don't speak the language.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I followed my boyfriend, as you said before. He started a job just after finishing the studies. He studied also at NEOMA. Yes, so I landed here. I could not speak a word of Spanish. So, of course, I decided to take some intensive Spanish courses to just try to learn as quickly as possible. So basically, yeah, for me, it was not, it was not possible to be in a country not speaking the language because of integration topics, because of job topics, because of getting friends and discovering the culture, so yeah, it was an intensive time. And after a few weeks, I remember I told my boyfriend at this time that it was kind of too complicated, speaking German with him, learning intensively Spanish during the day, several hours during every day. It's kind of close to French, and I told him it's just too much. I cannot progress as quickly as I wish. And he proposed to switch to Spanish, to speak together Spanish, so that I could learn quicker. So this was really funny because also in our relationship, we changed our language. So we were speaking in German.
Because your husband is German.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we were speaking in German also during the studies and at the beginning of Spain, and it was of course our language, common language, and then we switched the language to Spanish. So this is also a kind of a funny experience. Yeah.
So after, as a family of four, you decided to move to Switzerland. What was the thinking process behind that move? Why did you decide all of a sudden to move to Switzerland?
Yes, so basically we were spending 7 years in Madrid at really a fantastic time. Was there, made a lot of friends. We're going a lot out, and we got our first two children. And at that time, the father of my husband got a bit sick. So we thought with 2 small children, it wouldn't be bad to come a bit closer to the family. So my family in France, the family of my husband in Germany. And at that time, my brother was living in Switzerland already, and he told me, it's not so bad here, so maybe you may have a look. And looking for a job from Spain, my husband started looking also at the Swiss market in terms of professional development, and he had an opportunity in Zurich, so we moved the whole family to Zurich and Switzerland. So it was funny because I had never been in Switzerland, basically. So it was totally a new country for me. Of course, the language was also a challenge because I speak High German, but I don't speak Swiss German.
Yeah.
And it takes kind of a lot of time to understand Swiss German. It's not really not comparable with High German. So yes, there was again, I think, a language challenge landing in Switzerland after the Spanish language challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a reality, that Swiss German is very present in day-to-day work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you left your job, you took the family with your 2 kids, and you land in Switzerland. So looking back at this first year, because we know that the adaptation phase is pretty challenging, like to find the rhythm with the whole family and make sure that the kids are happy, and for you to continue your career. So there's a lot of things to put in place. So during that first year, what are some gaps between what you have imagined and what really happened, actually?
Yeah, I think there were several gaps, in fact. So, coming from Spain, from Madrid to Switzerland, I was kind of, super evolved country, everything working perfectly. And I was sure women were occupying a big part in the professional life, and so for me, the first gap is that I noticed that women with small children were normally not working. So this was the first gap. And yeah, it was kind of challenging because when looking for a job, having these discussions with headhunters and so on, when I told them I have 2 small children, they were like, okay, so, but you don't want to work 100% in that case. And I was like, yeah, I want to work 100%. And I noticed, okay, it's not normal here, and you got a bit this kind of social pressure also. Of course, we were living in a small village, so basically everybody knows each other, and yeah, small children had their mommy at home cooking for them. So for my children, it was, I think, the biggest challenge, because at that age you want to be the same as the other one. You want to integrate, you want to lean in. Because otherwise it's kind of complicated. And for them, it was difficult to understand why am I working and the other moms are not working. So this was also for me, in the first year in Switzerland, kind of one of the difficulties. And also in terms of organization with children. I mean, in Spain, we were very well organized. It's normal as a woman with children to work. So you have kind of everything set up so that you can really be working all days with small kids that are good taken care of. And here it was, I noticed, okay, there is not really kind of this infrastructure, and support. And exactly. So this was also kind of complicated to find the right setup. We had someone at home at the beginning. It didn't work very well. We chose to change a bit the system. So it was kind of, adapting quickly, this kind of agility we are talking about today, working agile, kind of test, learn, adapt, change. So I think it's the most important part during the first year, really being able to move quickly, to test, to try, to adapt, because it won't work as you think it should.
It will work.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's about being creative, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's about being creative and also try to connect quickly to get, you know, the good contacts, the good recommendations. So, yeah.
Yeah. So the first job you found in Switzerland was in Manor. So Manor is like Galerie Lafayette.
Yeah.
Right. So you were in charge of digitalizing their business, and now you are in bank.
Yeah.
So managing 80 people. So it's different sector, different country. So how does it like to work in this new environment? Is there anything that stands out and you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I think when I made the first change from industry to retail, I noticed how important it is to bring some different experiences, different references. When I start working at Manor, I was asking a lot of questions because everything was kind of new for me. And I was like, why are you doing it this way, you know? And I noticed it was really some very valuable question for people working there also, because they were kind of, you know, in their routine, and it has always been done this way. So not really challenging what is, and asking if you could do it a different way. So this was very interesting for me to change totally the industry from also more a B2B business, you know, to really an end consumer business with a strong focus on women, at the difference of men before as target group. So it was really, really very interesting. And what I learned is kind of to adapt quickly also, because you don't have someone, you know, coaching you and accompanying you. So from one day to the other, you start, and somehow you have to start performing also. So it was kind of kind of a challenge. Of course, I had some also big cultural shocks, you know, in terms of punctuality, for example. So in Spain, it was a different concept of punctuality than in Switzerland, as you can imagine. So it was about adjusting, adapting, learning, and being open, I think, and wanting to learn. I think this, you know, this curiosity, this way of wanting to learn and to experience, I think it's super important when you start something new in a different country. It's probably the most important ability and capability you should have.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing all that. That's definitely like super valuable, like having that different perspective from a different country, from a different sector, and bringing that on the table, and that gives different angle to approach a problem. So the having this cultural diversity, we can say that you really leverage that. To summarize, what soft skills do you think you have developed over the years, which are key today in your life as a mother, not only at work, like in a general scope?
Yeah, I think probably what I just said before. I think being curious, wanting to learn. I remember at school system functions really totally differently than in Spain or in France here. So at the beginning, I was like, oh my God, why are the children doing that? Why aren't they learning kind of, you know, basic, and why are they just playing all the day, you know? So I think you need really to embrace the approach of the country where you are living, and try to see the positive thing, and not trying to compare all the time the difference, you know. So just taking it as it is, and I think it was for me surely one big learning in terms of, you know, every country has different way of working, and there is no good or bad. It's just different, and accepting this, I think it's important, and not trying to compare with everything you already know, but just discover.
Being resilient, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
My last question for you. So let's imagine your best friend. I'm asking that to everyone. Your best friend is coming to Switzerland with a family in a month. What would be your top 3 advice?
Oh, that's a good question. My top 3 advice would be try really to build this safe space for your family. Because it's a challenge, you're changing country, everything works differently. So I think it's super important as a family to really maintain this safe space and this security, you know. It's very needed when everything is changing around, that you have this space. So this would be probably my first advice. My second advice would be try to go out quickly, try to meet people, try to talk, be open, be yourself. Don't try really to become someone different. Make an USP of your differences, but at the same time, try really to integrate and meet people and understand how the culture is and how it works. And then my last advice would be, yeah, just enjoy the moment. There will be a lot of difficult moments, but there is so much to learn, you know, because it's kind of, everything is different. So it's learning all the time and really enjoying this moment where you are challenged every day because it's not working as you thought it would work. So also try to enjoy the moment and this discovery phase, as I would say, when landing in a new country, because it's super valuable and it's a very nice way of challenging oneself. That is what I would say.
No, thank you for sharing. So we can see like resilience, energy, like being positive, open, curious. These are all the qualities that you actually develop through all these years abroad, and that will give you energy to really move forward, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Laure, for your time, for sharing all this insight with us. So to you who's watching, we hope that Laure's story was inspiring and find value in what she shared today. Don't forget to register to our live Q&A. Follow us on LinkedIn and email us if you would like also to contribute to this interview series. All the links are below. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.